All right, welcome back, guys. Are you ready for more GSL up and down action, Moltrap?
I sure am, Doa.
Good, me too.
Yeah, that is good because we're going to have some more up and down action here in just a moment. And there are our two players.
This is gonna be a good one, too. MVP SC versus OGS Top. This is going to be a good one, guys. SC is, of course, you saw it, a really good Terran player, good TV tier. Top, of course, was a GSL finalist last season, so he's not too shabby himself.
Yeah, no, definitely not. And this is, like I was talking about earlier a little bit, this is the battle of the How the Mighty Have Fallen players. Both these guys have been way, way, way up top in their game and have fallen down to the up and down matches from very high up.
Yeah, they certainly have. But, you know, as the level of skill increases with these players, it makes sense that we're going to see more, switch over between Code A and Code S. But let's move into the game. Who's going to win? Who's going to get a better record? This is GSL up and down matches. Which Mega Man villain would SCB? I don't know. We'll have to think about it. All right, MVP. This guy on the right side of the map. I don't want to say his name yet. I'll wait for the guy. There he goes.
MVP SC.
Worst player intro ever. Right there.
I don't know, man.
You're welcome.
We've done some worse ones in the past.
I
think I've personally done a couple worse ones.
I think that one is pretty bad. We'll start a vote on Team Liquid or something. All right. Down at the bottom of the map, we have our blue Terran from the team OGS. He is
OGS Top.
Yeah, from the
OGS
GSL
top.
finals last season all the way down to the up and down matches this season. The kid looks tired. I mean, I talked to him. I mentioned this. I talked to him before the matches today. He said he was tired, looked tired. Didn't really want to play today, but you know what, Top? You lost in the Code S round of 32, man. You have to play in the up and down matches.
That is how it works.
It's your own fault.
No one to blame but yourself.
That's right. So, and Top is a very good TV tier.
Yeah, he is.
In general, I mean, he has good mech play.
He is one of the strongest macro players in the game.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
that is how... I remember when he came up through Code A, just being astonished every single game about how he would, like, lose a battle. It would make mistakes in battles, too, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he still does.
And then at the end of the battle, you'd be like, man, he just got trashed. His army got owned, and now he's behind by what? He's ahead 20 supply? What?
Yeah, he really is impressive in that regard, too. He was one of the first people to do that really fast 3 command center build against Zerg on like Zelnok and Caverns back in the day. Yeah, I mean, if there's one word in StarCraft 2 you can associate Top with, it's definitely macro. This guy's not going to make only 37 SCVs this game, I can guarantee you that.
No, he's not.
I think SC's got a little bit more of a game on his hands than last time, maybe.
Definitely. Both players going for pretty similar builds here. They both planted there in their command centers at about the same time, although Top did plant his down at his expansion, so they're going to be able to get that mining a little bit faster.
Usually okay to do on a map like this. It does expose it to early pressure, of course, but generally it's a safe thing to do. Top's getting 2 gases right away, whereas SC is only getting 1. So wouldn't be surprised at all to see Top go right into mech play from this, whereas we're going to see probably, I would guess, Marine Tank from SC. He's more comfortable in that zone, I would say.
Yeah, and so he's going to have a little bit more power to his army very early on when he's going to have 3 barracks pumping out Marines, and might tail off a little bit into the mid game as Top's factory tech really gets going. And there's the first factory going down for Top, indeed.
Now, keep in mind one thing with this map. We saw a TVT recently that was mech against Bio Tank just not too long ago. I believe it was just last week. We saw Clyde versus MMA, and in one of the games, Clyde went mech on this map, contained MMA very, very well, and despite MMA being the excellent drop-oriented player that he is, he just couldn't make it work. I mean, mech played well against Bio, and I would say even against Marine Tank, will come out on top, you know, if it's played perfectly.
That's right. It may come out on top for Top this game, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
LOL.
Come out on top.
Sorry about that. Top is putting him down a bunker at his expansion right now, by the way, which is pretty prudent because it still takes a little while for his mech to really get in gear. You know, one of the major advantages of the mech play is that once you have a critical number of siege tanks, you're basically unstoppable. But you need to get to that point first. But Top is actually looking to be going for Banshees, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I were a betting man, Moltrap, I would bet that he would go mech after this anyway. But the thing
if someone was taking money on out of it, I would probably put money on to become a betting man.
It's going to be Cloak Banshees too, and this is becoming pretty popular because it was unpopular. It sounds funny, but that's kind of how it is. I mean, this is a timing where people don't expect Cloak Banshees to come in. This is a timing where Terrans don't save scans for like they would at the normal Banshee timing. So we've seen this have some success. Now, yesterday, we actually saw this fail miserably in a different game where a Terran tried to do this. Wasn't a TVT, but well, you know, he just basically caved to early pressure here. So there is the risk when you do something like this.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what it looks like might happen because Top is has 4 Marines in a bunker, and that is it. And there are a dozen and 14 Marines now barreling down here from SC. Top has no idea this is coming. He brings off a bunch of SCVs to try and repair that bunker.
Yeah, looks like SC wants to play it safe, though. He's not going to go ahead and try to attack that. He probably could kill the bunker, kill some SCVs, but you know, it's a big investment to lose all those Marines right away.
I guess so.
And when he sees that, too, he knows that there's probably something like Cloak Banshees coming. You know, he's like, all right, you should have more stuff by now, so I'm going to pull back and be a little bit more defensive. I mean, you feel pretty dumb if you kill their bunker and maybe 5 SCVs and lose all your Marines, and then a Banshee shows up and kills everything you have.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though. Okay, there he does have his Marines in the back, so he is going to be able to defend against the Banshee for a little while. Cloak's going to finish now, so he can cloak and kill those Marines or more SCVs if he wants to. SC does not currently have more than 2 scans. Never mind, he does have 2 scans. And a turret going up, so he might be fine, actually.
Yeah, I think he will be. It'll take a few losses here and there, but overall looks like he'll be able to defend against this quite well. Meanwhile, Top adding on 2 more factors. Blue Flame. Oh, the Banshee coming back to do some more damage. She's up to 5 kills, man. Corporal Banshee.
Corporal Banshee needs to make sure he doesn't get within range of that turret, though.
It's a she. It's a she. Good point. Banshee Pilot's a girl. Oh, 2 Banshees in there now. And no stim yet for SC, so this might be a little bit difficult to deal with. It's going to need to be pretty careful. Doesn't want to lose too many Marines before stim is done.
Yep. No energy on either of those Banshees, though, so they're both forced to fall back. And yeah, SC defends pretty well. Doesn't lose too much. Only lost 5 SCVs in that whole encounter. A couple Marines as well.
Now look at that. Top is actually already building his 3rd command center down by the rocks where SC hasn't even started. He's taking out the rocks first. So that'll give Top that economic advantage that he just loves to have. Yeah, Top looks like he's going to be in pretty good shape. What he needs to do to make this work is take the middle of the map, not let SC go beyond 3 bases, and at the same time keep scouting the other parts of the map for hidden bases and to defend against drops. If he can do that, that's how he's going to win this game.
Yep. And he's going to be able to do that pretty soon. 2 tanks are on the way to accompany his 1 existing tank. Siege tech is about to be complete as well. So he's going to have a few siege tanks with siege mode pretty soon.
Now, I had this weird feeling that SC was going to go for some tanks along with that. He's just straight up going bio. So it will be just bio against mech here. And, you know, again, kind of like what I said earlier, I feel like that's good for Top if he plays it right. I believe that Top is preparing to play that right.
Yeah. Yeah, you're correct. He's just put down 2 more barracks. And he's probably going to put some add-ons on those as well. Maybe a couple more reactors to go with this 3rd base. So he's going to be able to put out a lot of bio. But Top is producing 2 tanks at a time. By the time SC's bio machine really gets going, Top's going to have a dozen tanks.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough for SC to break this. He's going to need to try to rely on drop play to do some damage, maybe kill a production facility or 2, kill some SCVs, but he's going to need to be careful not to lose all those drops too.
Oh wow, he's actually making 3 siege tanks at a time.
That's a lot of Hellions too, right there. I mean, that's enough Hellions to run in, insta-gib all the Marines, and then run back.
Pretty much.
So you want to have the Marines with big damage dealers in a lot of cases, so...
And he does have the
quick. It's good.
Yeah, he does have Blue Flame upgrade as well already, so they're going to be able to do even more damage to those Marines.
Yeah, it always takes at least 3 hits to kill a Marine now, I believe, even with Blue Flame. But it's still extra damage. Still kills him faster than if you didn't have Blue Flame.
Yeah, especially if you have tanks mixed in and they're doing splash damage to soften things up, then the Blue Flames, that little extra bit of damage can sometimes get the kill.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I've been thinking about it all week. I can't wait to see what the new units for Heartstorm. I'm so excited about that, dude. I just love theory crafting and things like that. So I'll get to do that.
We're going to find out soon enough. Just a few days.
I know. Yeah,
right, we're supposed to release it at BlizzCon, right?
That's what I've heard. I don't know 100% if that's true, but that's what the rumor on the mean streets of the internet is.
Oh, no. If SC... Okay, he's not going to attack.
Yeah.
And he scanned and found out that he really shouldn't attack. I thought SC was going to go for an attack there, but Top has 9 tanks sieged at his natural. That, of course, would have gotten obliterated.
I love what Top is doing with these Hellions here. Just kind of keeping control of the middle of the map, making sure that SC never has any Zelnagatars. Looks like you lost a couple Hellions right there.
A few of them got slowed by Marauders, so they couldn't run by.
So that didn't work too well.
We didn't get a shot of that, but
otherwise,
at least he only sent in 3 instead of all of them. And just like you were talking about earlier, I think you might have talked about this again just now, but Top, I just want to compliment him again for really going all over the map, checking all those expansions, make sure that SC isn't sneaking something.
Yeah, he's certainly doing it right. I mean, that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. If you want to play mech against Bio on a map like this, there's certain requirements that you have to fulfill. Oops, one of them is not losing your Hellions, so that's not one of the requirements.
Nope.
No, that's one you do.
No, you can do without that.
But he is following the other ones. Like you mentioned, he's scouting really well. He's starting to move out, take that middle part of the map. And if you can hold it, you can kind of contain SC and make him kind of spend himself out on 3 bases.
Yeah, pretty much. And Top has been out-macroing SC a little bit, as we expected, by the way. He did get his 3rd up a little bit earlier, so that kind of attributes to that. But Top is getting close to maxed out right now. He's starting to get stuff like high-sec auto-tracking. He's going to put a planetary at that 4th base, and he's just tiering his tanks back really nicely as well.
Well, the high-sec auto-tracking especially is something that's going to be very, very helpful to him in terms of defending drops and things like that.
Yeah, adds +1 range to the turrets and planetaries and point defense drones as well, actually.
You'll generally see meching players build quite a few turrets, too, just because it's easier to just have turrets to kill the medevacs than to actually have to have units there to kill the units that come out of the medevacs.
Yeah.
I always have to have some, but turrets are so cheap, man.
And I really like how Top has those 2 sensor towers covering the sides of his base as well, because like you were talking about earlier again, you know, with the bio-style play, you see a lot of drops. So if he can spot those drops coming in earlier, send the Vikings back to deal with it before it even drops, then you're pretty safe.
Yeah, that type of thing is definitely helpful. It's a pretty big army for SC. It's a little bit scary. What are the upgrades on that right now? That's what I'm kind of curious about.
I think it's only 1. No, it's actually just got 2-2.
2-2, okay. So pretty good upgrades for SC then. All right.
Yep.
+2 attack for the vehicles of Top, though, on the way. And Top actually building 3 more command centers right now.
Wow.
This is why I love OGS Top. Oh, and a big drop coming in from MVP SC.
The sensor tower sees it. He's bringing his Vikings back, but it's not going to get there in time.
Yeah, he's going to need to bring a lot back to defend against this. He's going to leave his 4th kind of exposed here. How much damage is this actually going to be able to do? All the medevacs but 1 are already dead. And with the fight with the Banshees there, the Vikings.
And the tanks are actually going the wrong way. For some reason, all of his tanks are going down to deal with 1 Marauder in the 3rd, and he's letting all these Marauders kill his base while that happens.
Wow, this is exactly what SC needed to do. Kill the production facilities, then overrun your opponent. That is one of the ways you can get the advantage in Bio versus Mech. He killed like 2 or 3 factories there.
He did, but here's the critical thing is that Top had so many Banshees, he just cloaked them all, ran in there, killed the Marines, and the Banshees killed all of the Marauders eventually. He didn't actually have to engage with his tanks to put them in danger. So here he is, marching across the map with 22 +2 weapon siege tanks. +2 is almost done, that is.
Getting caught a little bit unsieged there, but does SC have enough right now?
Oh, it's getting close. The Marauders closing in really close and killing off most of the tanks.
Wow, he does just barely have enough to clean this off.
Wow.
Big victory.
So did I just say 22 tanks? What I meant was 3.
Wow.
He actually has only 3 siege tanks now. That was huge.
Well, That's what happens when you kind of get caught out of position like that. A lot of those tanks weren't sieged up, and SC did a beautiful job flanking that.
Yeah, that was actually really brilliant. SC went in with the drop in the main to draw the tanks back, and then while they were moving back into position at the front, he attacked with his next wave. It was a really good combo there. And, you know, you were saying earlier, you have to play it right to defeat the bio. Well, playing it right is being slow and steady and hopping, you know, leapfrogging your tanks forward, and Top didn't do that, so that's why he got caught on siege there and lost all of his tanks.
Got a little bit too aggressive. The upgrades are so huge in this regard too, because if you notice, +3 weapons coming up for the tanks for Top, but I don't think he's gotten any vehicle armor upgrades yet.
None.
Yeah, no vehicle armor upgrades, so when 3-3 finishes for SC, his bio is going to be in great shape to take on a mech army. Especially now that he's kind of got the leeway to expand here. The Hellions are going to do a little bit of damage, but not a whole lot. And SC is just looking really good today. He's just playing really great StarCraft.
He certainly is, man. And I mean, I got to attribute this game, the state of this game, though, to Top's mistakes there, though. Dealing with that drop and getting back into position.
Yep.
Although SC, like I said before, did have a really good tactic there of drawing him back and then attacking the front.
Did a good job of capitalizing on it, definitely. Hellions coming in again. And the SCVs are going to get away just in time, obviously. Big stim from SC. I don't know if this is going to work. Let's see. The upgrades are just so big, though. Yeah. SCV's coming off the line.
Yeah, that is just way too much.
SC's got plenty of stuff right now.
SC was able to refill his army so quickly with that Bioforce. Now he's trying to target down the planetary. It does go down so quickly, so much damage per second with those highly upgraded Marauders, and he may just charge in here with almost double the army.
Yeah, looks
and
like
kill off Top.
I'm surprised he's doing this because 3-3 is almost finished. This seems like a bit of an overstretch by SC, but looks like it might just barely be enough to break that army. Yeah, he kind of ends up trading things, but he can reproduce quite a bit quicker than Top right now.
Yeah.
And he will have that 3-3 as well, so that'll be nice.
Yeah, Top does still have that top left base. SC does not know about it, and if Top didn't have that top left base, I think he probably would have left the game by now. However, Top also doesn't know about the 12 o'clock base of SC that he just got running.
Hellions are not really doing a whole lot. Nice little Marauder defense by MVP SC. And here's the thing too: is I think we're going to see SC start to scout a little bit more for that hidden base, because he knows that Top is probably not just on 3 bases at this point. Because like you said, you know, he moved and destroyed everything. Top stayed in the game. You know, that would kind of say, well, if you're doing that, then maybe you do actually have more than just 3 bases, so I better scout. But he's not really doing that.
Yep. Top is producing 4 siege tanks at a time right now. He's trying desperately to get that siege tank count back up. He's up to 11 right now, but he lost that huge ball of tanks, and it's just so hard to replenish that number. I think maybe he's hoping that his top left base doesn't get discovered. He can remax and make one more big push and just try and kill SC with one fell swoop, because he's just kind of giving up the map to him right now.
Yeah, it's kind of what you have to do. I mean, if you lose that map presence in the center, you kind of have to just sit back, play defensive, try to max out like you're saying, and then just try to go for one big death push. So if that doesn't work, then you are completely out of luck.
Yep.
Oh, looks like...
You saw it too?
Yeah, I'm looking at the mini-map right now on the left side of the mini-map. Looks like SC is about to find that hidden base. And there it is. He's going to find that and the 2 extra command centers to boot. Doesn't have a lot of ground to air in this, but it doesn't really matter. He's at least going to be able to take up the planetary.
Yeah, easily. Repairing is not going to actually do any good because there's so much damage being output there.
Yeah. So that is it. Planetary taken out. And suddenly, Top is down to just 3 bases.
And we were complimenting Top so much for his macro, and here he is sitting on 2,000 minerals. He really needs, I mean...
Well, you know, he just hasn't been able to keep up in production facility construction.
That's true.
If he had more of those, he'd be able to spend the money, you know? I mean, he's not bringing enough gas either. So, Top's just in a really, really tough situation right now. He can't do what he wants to do. Big stim from SC again.
And
clean up some more tanks.
All that money's in the bank instead of Hellions, so there's nothing to buff for these Marauders, and they charge right in on top of the tanks and take them out so quickly.
That might actually be GG right there. Once he destroys the rest of these tanks here. He's just so far ahead right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly why Top is staying in this game. He's floated one of his extra orbitals out to this 3rd position or 4th position, but it's not going to last there.
Yeah.
It's just going out there to die. And yeah, so SC still just not too far ahead in supply, but he just keeps winning every battle, and he's got such good position and such a good economy.
Yeah, he's taking more command centers all over the map as well, so
he's actually got about
just fine.
3 or 4 times the economy that Top does right now.
Wow. It's a big difference.
That is a difference of a lot. About 3 or 4 times.
Yes. The supply just keeps going up for SC as well. I mean,
yeah.
You know, he's honestly just manhandling OGS Top right now. You know, keep in mind too that Top, you know, he is tired. He's a tired guy right now. He's been traveling a lot, so he may not be playing quite his best. But
well, he has managed to retake the 4th base position outside of his main bases, I guess. He's still trying to get those tanks up to 13 again. And SC has been really smart by not letting him get that critical mass of, you know, like 20 tanks that just can't be stopped.
Yeah.
Charges him when he's got about 10 and takes them out in small groups.
Yeah, that's totally what a good bio player does in TVT, is you try to kind of eat the elephant one bite at a time, if it were, you know? It's hard to take the whole elephant out at once. You have a spoon.
Maybe if you were, well, hold that thought.
Oh, here we go.
And I'm having deja vu all over again. This time there's some Hellions in the mix, but a ton of Marauders is taking them out so quickly. Nice tank spread, but they are slowly and steadily going down.
Those upgrades are quite helpful here, and again, Top loses his entire army. Just a couple tanks left over.
Yeah, those are 3 Marauders.
They're pretty strong.
They are strong indeed. The splash damage even not doing as much against them because of that armor helping out a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, there goes the command center. Didn't need that one anyway, right?
He's actually got extras. Top has a lot of spare command centers lying around, so he kind of didn't. He's almost out of gas in his main, though, so his tank production is going to really wean off here pretty soon. Well, I mean, I guess he's mining from his 4th now, but starting to mine out of minerals in all 3 of his main bases.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be very long. All SC has to do is break that planetary one more time, and that will secure the game.
Well, you really notice that SC is not being overly aggressive. You know, that's just another reason that he's playing things right. He's just coming in here, doing like he's doing right now, and killing the army and then backing off. Not the best engagement ever for SC, but, you know, again, he shouldn't have any trouble cleaning this up.
Yeah, I mean, when you've got 60 or 70 supply ahead of your opponent, you don't have to do the best engagement.
Oh, the Vikings are landing as well. They'll kill the bio. Then SC has more reinforcements coming in.
Lift the Viking. Oh, and SCV's come off way too late. That tank popped.
Wow.
From a single volley from those
GG
units. And GG coming from Top, finally giving up as SC pulls him over with some massive bio balls.
Yeah, man. I think not gonna touch that one. I think MVP SC really just again outplayed his opponent. Sure seemed that way. His MVP coach very happy here. And Top, yeah, just looks kind of frustrated. He's like, I just want a nap right now.
I think going back, I think it really that whole game did come down to that one battle. Top was out macroing SC. He had more bases, he had more income, he had more units, he had a ton of tanks. And it just came down to that one battle where SC like dropped and did some damage. But most importantly, when Top went back out to like retake the outer position, all of his tanks were unsieged because he'd moved his whole army back to deal with that and didn't end up using it actually.
Well, yeah, SC was ready for him.
And he didn't have any buffer for his tanks either.
That's true, too. Yeah, he did lose those Hellions earlier in the game as well. And that's the thing. If you're playing mech, yeah, be active with your Hellions. Try to do what you can with them, but don't lose them. If you lose your Hellions, then suddenly your army is very, very weak. I mean, it's weird to explain because the Hellions themselves don't do a lot of damage, but you kind of need that there to sort of buffer damage for your big damage-dealing units. Otherwise, you see what happens if it's just tanks against very upgraded bio. A lot of times you can just run right in there and take everything out. So,
yep.
Yeah, well, it looks like we've got TVZ next again. We've got Noblesse versus Lucky.
Yes,
now,
indeed.
both of these guys are down a game. So they want to get the win, want to get themselves a point here. They're going to duke it out on Tal'Darim Altar.
Yep, Lucky taking a quick loss in his first game against another Terran player, despite our claims that he had very good Zerg versus Terran. This is going to be a little bit better match for Noblesse, I think. I think it's kind of a must-win situation for Noblesse, regardless of the fact that if he loses, he's 0-2. Also, I was looking at the stats of all these guys, and TVT is really important in this group because they're all so many Terrans. Most of the Terrans have like 55 to 60% win rates against other Terrans. They're solid TVTers. Noblesse has struggled with TVT though, so he really needs this win against the Zerg opponent, which he's more confident against Zerg.
Well, the anticipation screen is filling up. We're going to move into the game soon. Who's going to come out on top? Will it be Noblesse? Will it be Lucky? Let's find out.